We are halfway through the book of Exodus. Like I've been saying, Exodus has a lot to go through. There is a lot to understand. Thankfully, this is our first cycle through the book of Exodus. And this first cycle is really meant for those who are not familiar with the Torah to become more familiar with it. And again, this is our first cycle. Last week, we left out with Yehovah communicating his covenant to his people. Now, these are the same people that rejected him and asked for a mediator for Moses to step in between them and Yehovah. Yehovah was not looking for a mediator. He was coming to pronounce his vows, his marriage vows to his people, his agreement to his people, to speak to them himself, because he was in the process of building a kingdom of priests. Not a tribe, but a kingdom of priests. Welcome to Reconcile with the Kingdom, where we're working towards becoming the harmony of the whole word of truth. My name is PATRICE Robinson, and I truly appreciate you stopping by on today, hitting that subscribe button below, comment, and sharing this video as a way of you showing your support. We're going to go through significant events of Exodus chapters 22 through 24. Chapter 22. This is about respecting others' property, not stealing, and paying restitution. Now, listen to this. You may not be a farmer, but you do have property that people will steal. So this still applies to you today. I mean, we have cars, we have cell phones, we have jewelry, we have pets. We have a number of different things that people will steal and resell. Some of us even give people money to hold, and somehow that money becomes up missing. So all of that still applies today. There are people that go on vacation and leave their pets with other people, and something end up happening to their pet, whether they end up injured or they had died under someone else's hands. So they're still responsible for that pet. So we have paying restitution and not stealing people's property. Is the same laws that we have here in the United States. So this is really nothing new. We have other instructions that's in this chapter. We have instructions that men, when you're courting a young woman and then you end up having relations with them and leave them, this is a no-no. It was a no-no then, and most people consider that it should not be happening today. Now, there is another one that was spoken in here. It's about they should not allow a person who practiced witchcraft to live. So in that time, in that camp, the children of Israel in the wilderness, they were to stone someone who's practicing witchcraft. Why? Because someone was using the wrong door, the wrong spiritual door, and letting unclean spirits and demons in, and that will contaminate the camp. So you wasn't subject to allow them to live. Now today, we're not going around stoning someone who practices witchcraft or mediums or things like that. We just separate ourselves from them and we just pray for them. So we're not physically injuring them in today, because we're not in a camp. We're not all in Yehovah's kingdom. We're spread out throughout the nation. Yehovah even addressed the issue of people having relations with animals. Now, all of you that believe that the Tanakh, the Torah, the Old Testament is not for you today, I am for sure you do not believe that people, human beings, should be having relations with animals. I'm sure you don't agree with that. So there is more to this Torah that applies to you than you realize. There's actually a lot more, and we eventually get through all of that. Chapter 23. More instructions on how to live in the kingdom of Yehovah. He addresses not lying or giving false report. He talked about not hanging around crowds that do evil. Do not show favoritism to a poor man in a court of justice. Matter of fact, don't show favoritism to anyone. Tell people how to be people of righteous judgment by don't be taking bribes. Don't be doing unlawful acts. He wanted them not to oppress strangers because he wanted them to remember that they was oppressed. They was oppressed themselves by the Egyptians. So don't oppress others. He also instructed the people to honor the Sabbath for the land. So the land had a Sabbath day too. So he also spoke about the weekly Sabbath. He explained that there is 3 feasts that he required for the men, and pretty soon you will see family, to come up in the place that he will have his name at, to come and join. So in the beginning, it was Shiloh. That's where the tabernacle was for quite a while until David had the tabernacle, the Ark of Covenant, moved to Jerusalem. So there was Shiloh for many hundreds of years, I think about 300 years. And then it was Jerusalem where the families will come up for the 3 feasts. So it's the Feast of Unleavened Bread that includes Passover, and the Feast of Harvest, which is Pentecost, and the Feast of Ingathering, which is the Feast of Tabernacle. So all these are the 3 feasts that they will go up to Jerusalem for 3 times a year. Yehovah continues to explain he is sending his angel to help them on their journey, and he warned them about worshiping other gods. Chapter 24. Moses, Aaron, and his sons and the 70 elders went to the mountain, but only Moses was allowed to approach Yehovah, and the others had to worship at a distance. Moses returned to the camp and reported all the ordinance and instructions to the people, and the people responded with all the words with which Yehovah had spoken, which Yehovah has said, we will do. The people said, I do, to the marriage covenant. They agreed to the covenant. Moses wrote all the words down, and the next day he built an altar offering the burnt offering of bulls. And he took that blood and he sprinkled it on all the people, and he also sprinkled it on the book, making it a blood covenant. He read the book before all the people, and they again said, all the words which Yehovah has said they will do, and they will be obedient. Moses, was so excited about this, I'm pretty sure. And he thinking, oh, they're going to really, they're going to obey. At least I'm hoping Moses was excited about it. Then there was a meal that took place. There was a meal between Moses, Aaron and his sons, and the 70 elders in Yehovah, which is what a wedding reception, if you would say, a confirmation that this had taken place. Now Moses and Joshua went back up to the mountain to get the commandments on the tablets. Now these are the 10 words. These are the 10 commandments that he was shouting from the mountain. And those 10 words, the 10 commandments, is what the people had stopped Yehovah from speaking at that time, because they didn't want to hear no more. And that's when they brought in Moses. So he's getting those as a witness. And so this is again when they rejected. So he go gets those tablets. He is on his way up to the mountain. He left Aaron and her in charge until he returns. Moses was in the mountain for 40 days. The focus. Today's focus is on the angel that Yehovah is sending to help the children of Israel to get to the promised land. Yehovah is sending this angel to help bring them over there, and they commanded to listen to this angel. I'm going to read this, what he said. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions. For my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thy enemies, and I'll be an adversary unto thy adversaries. For my angel shall go before thee and bring thee into the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Jebusites, and cut them off. So they have the plan. This is what they need to do, and this is what Yehovah will do on his part. This is what the angel will do on his part. So you know where I'm going with this. This sounds like a shadow of Yeshua. This describes what we're told about Yeshua. We are to obey his voice. Do not be rebellious towards him, because he is coming in the name of Yehovah. If we obey Yehovah, allow the Holy Spirit to lead us, we will be able to fight our adversaries. Yeshua, Jesus, gave us a great example on how to do this. If we will pay attention to his ministry, what he said and what he done, he walked out the Torah. He told us and taught us how to do this. So we really need to pay attention to his life. Next week, Torah Chat Points, it will be Exodus chapter 25 through 27. Man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yehovah. That's the Torah. That's the foundation. Don't forget to join me on Saturday at 10 a.m. as we continue Hanukkah versus Christmas, and then I will see you next Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Thank you.